Hi everybody, I am Polly Aquilino and I manage the Facebook group, the Keto support group, Keto Kaleidoscope, look inside and discover the beauty of change. We have, as of today, we have over 1,000 members, and I'm going to put the link down in the description. So if you think that, you or anybody that you know would like to, join a fun support group, non-judgmental, very positive, empowering, then please do so. We would love to have you. So today I want to talk about, I've been trying to find the hot topics that are on our group that people really feel like they need more information on. So instead of continually tagging people, I figured I'm just going to make these little short videos that kind of condense the information and really help you out. So this will be found on my group. Like I said, we'd love to have you in the group, share our group out, share this video out to, other groups that you may be a part of. So today I want to do the top 12, and you have to excuse me. I do have a few pieces of paper here because I'm doing the top 12. So I just needed kind of a word highlighted so I could get started on what I wanted to communicate to you. So the top 12 tips that I personally used that made all the difference for me to start your keto journey. They really did. These are really the top ones. I kind of came up with them on my own. So these are really what I lived, and I've lost 65 pounds since September. So I still have about 20 to go, but I'm working on it. So the first one that I did, the 2 days before I started last September, I cleaned out all my cabinets. I cleaned out all my refrigerator. So I knew I needed to have a cabinet just for my things and a refrigerator space just for my things. Now my family they're totally supportive, but they don't do keto. So I just kind of wanted to be able to look in one space that I could choose food from. So that's the first thing that I would suggest you do. Clean out your cabinets, clean out your refrigerator, just get rid of all the junk, just fill it with healthy foods. And, so that is the first thing, that I would do, because, if you don't have it in there, you're not gonna, you don't want to keep the junk around and things like that. So my husband and my son, they have their things in one area and then I have my own. So I would highly recommend cleaning your kitchen and having a specific spot for your things. So that becomes your comfort zone. Anything in there, that you can have and live this lifestyle successfully. So number 2 is, I hear this all the time. You need to understand this is a lifestyle change and not a quick fix. Sure, if you want to lose 20 pounds for your daughter's wedding or your wedding or your high school reunion or something, you can probably lose 20 pounds and that's fine. But to be able to get the health benefits from keto, you really need to embrace it and live it every day. Make it part of your life every day. Because when the scale doesn't move, it's important to know your body is still healing, because our body fluctuates with weight so much. So understand it's a lifestyle change and it's not a quick fix. And it's kind of like weight loss is the side effect of healing years of just putting ugly stuff into our bodies. So if you can get that mindset, for me, that really helped. This is a lifestyle and this is what I'm going to do. And that's kind of how I continue to look at every day, in terms of doing my keto journey. So basically just trust the process, really just embrace it, trust it. It works. It does work. The third one, macros. Some people are very obsessed with their macros. Some people don't even really know what they are. Macros are short for macronutrients. It's the carbohydrates, the proteins, and the fats. And you need to track those. There's a formula. You need to track those in your keto lifestyle. Our group is working on a detailed kind of interactive description on setting your macros. There are some posts on our group for setting your macros, but what we're going to be putting on there in the next week is going to be really helpful, step by step of setting your macros. basically in a nutshell, I don't want to go too deep into it, but basically in a nutshell, under the keto lifestyle, you should be eating 70 to 80% healthy fats in a day, probably 15 to 20% protein, and probably only 5 to 10% of complex carbs from veggies, nuts, and seeds. So and there's trackers on there you can use. Carb Manager is a huge one. So most people use that, and you put in your food every day, and then it tells you exactly what you have left, whether you need more protein. But it's really, really important to follow your macros. You want to set them. You want to track them. I did not miss one thing for 4 months when I was on my journey. I have to be honest now. Do I track every day? No, because I pretty much know what I want to eat. What I do though, if I have a day where I don't really feel like figuring out what to eat, I will go back in my daily journal. So use it as a journal to see, I'm going to mimic what I ate, because I was sticking with my macros, and I was losing probably 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds every week. So getting your fats in, that's what makes this process work. Please know that. Healthy fats make this process work. I know people are like 70 to 75 to 80 is a lot, but it works. It works. The next one is MCT oil. I am not a big proponent of supplements. The collagen, the exogenous ketones, I'm just not a big fan. I'm not saying that, our group won't embrace anybody that does those. That's perfectly fine. For me, I have my own reasons after researching and things. But the one thing that I do want to point out is that MCT oil is vital for this. You don't have to do it. It's not like you can't be successful, but that's the one thing that I've used from day one. It's basically, and I'm doing a video on MCT oil, so I'm not going to get too much into it, but it's the best oil from the coconut oil, if that makes sense. They extract it from the coconut, and it's MCT oil. It keeps you full. It's not digested. It goes right to your liver. It makes ketones, which is how we burn. That's what we do. We burn ketones for being in a state of ketosis instead of burning glucose, which our bodies have been doing for, years and years. So MCT oil, it's a tablespoon a day. I would start out with a teaspoon a day. It can be a little give you a little gastric issues to some people. But after that, I do a tablespoon every morning in my bulletproof coffee. And I think that it really just supports a healthy keto lifestyle. So it's definitely a nice addition to this lifestyle, definitely. The next one is electrolytes. So when we do keto, we can tend to get dehydrated faster. So I want to say drink lots of water. I drink a gallon of water a day. I always drink a gallon of water a day. I always keep my water bottle with me. Just keep your water bottle with you, and just drink that water. The first 16 ounces that I drink every day, I put Himalayan pink salt in, which is amazing stuff. If you don't have any, I would add it to your special cabinet in your kitchen where you have your keto things, because it keeps us hydrated. It keeps our electrolytes balanced. It keeps from getting the keto flu that people talk about. It'll keep you from getting the headaches. It'll help with nausea. So salt is good, keeping your electrolytes in balance. The other thing that can help is pickle juice. I drink a shot glass of pickle juice every morning. And if I remember, I do it at night, but I do it every morning of pickle juice, because that really helps keep your electrolytes in balance, along with the gallon of water and things like that. So that whole thing, bone broth is another one. If you do bone broth, you can buy it in the store. There's some better ones. I think I have something on my group that shows the best ones. I do try to do a half a cup every day. Not so good at that, because it's great for collagen. I find that I have such loose skin now with losing the 65 pounds. So bone broth helps too. So you just have to be smart about it and add these little things in that will help keep you not going through the big keto flu. And if you do get it, it only lasts for about 5 to 7 days. So just hang on, it will pass. And then it's like the light at the end of the tunnel, if you will. So the next one is huge as well, meal planning. I really couldn't plan for a whole week. That kind of overwhelmed me. So every Sunday I would boil a dozen eggs. I would get a rotisserie chicken from the store, and I would, take off the skin. You can eat the skin sometimes, but I would take off the skin, and I would have it for my salad. So I would make like 2 lunches. So I knew what I was going to eat for lunch. I would kind of know what I was going to eat for dinners, because then I kind of knew if I was having a salad for lunch, I would probably need to have a meat for dinner to balance out my macros. Again, it goes back to the macros. If you track, it'll tell you exactly how many grams of protein, fat, and carbs you have left for the day. So it's really important to do that. So I don't want you to think you have to plan out for a week and things like that. Just 2 days would be good. You can also make eggs you can put eggs, bacon, and sausage in the muffin tins, and you bake them, and then you put them in the refrigerator, and you pop one in the microwave in the morning, and you have a great breakfast. So it does help to plan, because sometimes if you don't plan, then you plan to fail. So I would say try to just start out with doing 2 days of planning ahead, and if you can do more, that's great. The next one is really important. We all have different bodies, and we all have healing to do. So it's really important not to compare yourself to others. I get so many people messaging me saying, look, my friends are all losing 3, 4 pounds, 5 pounds a week, and I'm sitting here at like a pound a week. I don't really know what to do. I feel like this isn't working. That's when you just think of a big red stop sign in your head and say, stop, don't compare yourself to other. The healing that my body had to do is different than what you guys have to do. And so, but the important thing to know is, because we're eating like this, our bodies are so healing. The inflammation that we put them through because of the sugars, they're healing, and we have to give them time to do that. So even though the scale's not really cooperative all the time, just know your body is healing, and that is such a good feeling. That's where I go back to. That's like my home base with keto. If I feel like, oh my, I just want a bagel today, or I just want, no, Polly, your body is healing. If you put that in, that's not what you need to do. And I certainly don't. Keto keeps me full, and I'm just never hungry on this lifestyle, so it's wonderful. But just don't compare yourself to others. Your journey is your journey, and you need to own it. And it's nice to have like our group, and I know there's other groups out there. It's nice to share your journey and share your stories, but just know that you are doing a huge service to your body by living this lifestyle, even if the scale refuses to move for a couple weeks. And I'm going to do a little video on stalls too, but not for right now. Just don't compare yourself to others. My big thing that I promote on my page almost every day when somebody asks me about, my top tip is keep things simple. People are like, I need recipes. These recipes have like 30 ingredients in them. You can do a meat for dinner. You can do a meat and a veggie. You can do avocado and pork rinds. You can do eggs. I mean, you can buy your avocados and your veggies, and you can buy meats, and you can buy, cheeses, and you can buy almond milk and yogurt, and there's so many things. You can just keep it simple. The first 2 months, I did not experiment with any big recipes. I just wanted to get my macros down. I wanted to understand how much I needed to eat to be able to be successful, and at the end of the day hit my macros. And so that's what I did. Just keep it super simple. You can have some strawberries. I maybe have 3 or 4 strawberries a week. They do tend to have more carbs in them, but you can certainly enjoy the berries with fruit. So just keep things super simple. Don't get overwhelmed, because if you get overwhelmed, you're probably more than likely going to say, this is too tough for me. So try to learn, the next one, then number 9, is try to learn at least one new thing on keto and write it down. That's what I did. I keep a journal, and every time I would learn something new from a book or a podcast or a friend, or there's doctors that I follow on keto, I would write it down, and I would make sure that it was true. I would look at the studies and things to make sure that that's something that I really did believe. And even today on my group, somebody asked me a question last night, and I went back to my book and I read. So just try to learn one new thing a day and just jot it down, because in 6 months you will have, your arsenal will be full of just good things that you can know and share and help you along your journey. So that's what I would, that's a big thing that I did. This is kind of a no-brainer. Up your physical activity. If you're going on errands, take your car, park it farther away from where you're going, and just walk. That's one thing I did at work now. I park far from my building, and then I walk in. You know, take the steps, don't take the elevator. Just try to get more physical activity in. The first month of keto, it will be tough because your energy will be pretty low. But after that, you will have more energy and you have to do something with it. So just try to up your physical activity. Just one little thing a day. You know. Number 11 is get sleep. You have to get sleep on this lifestyle. Sleep, lessen your stress. I know it's hard. I do find stress and sleep a lot easier on this lifestyle. So that's something that's totally supported. Keto has totally supported me in that effort, because I just think I don't have all the sugars and the inflammation. Your body just feels so much more relaxed. So, and the last one, share your journey with people. Share your journey with people. You know, some people are going to say, keto, all that fat, that's so bad for you, you know, things like that. Just, you know, understand that they don't understand, and that's okay. So, but you know, people will start asking you, hey, I noticed you've lost weight, and I just try to be positive. I don't, you know, I don't force the conversation, but just share your journey, because it kind of helps for you to understand, you know, the journey that you're doing too. So they are kind of my top 12 tips. A 13th one I'm going to add just because of a bonus one, and those of you on my group know this. Bulletproof coffee is the bomb. I drink it 5 days a week. It keeps me, it's a healthy dose of fats, it's the butter, and it's the heavy whipping cream, and I put some cinnamon in mine and the MCT oil, and I froth it up, and it's just like a latte. And for me, that just keeps me completely full, and my macros are happy, and my body's happy until probably about 1 o'clock for lunch. So that's my tip, Bulletproof coffee. Once you're in our group, you can look it up. I'm actually going to do a little segment on Bulletproof coffee. So those are my tips. So just, you know, embrace the journey and use some of these tips if they help, and share this video out if you know somebody, the link is down at the bottom of the video. And so I hope to see you guys in the group. Thank you.